All right, so in this lecture, we're going to look at the query data byte stream for read input register command using our previous application scenario. And we're going to try and read register 30,019, which of course is an input register. All right, if you recall, this is our application data unit, Modbus application data unit for TCP IP. So it has the traditional function code and 8-bit data byte from standard Modbus RTU. But of course, as we saw earlier, it also has transaction identifier, protocol identifier, length, and unit ID. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. I'm going to start with function code and 8-bit data byte. So function code is 4, which is 1 byte. And then the 8-bit data bytes will be 4 of those bytes. The first two, 0, 18, will be the start block address for 30,019. Now remember, to get this 18, we take 30,019 and subtract it from the lower end value of read input of input registers, which is 30,001. So 30,019 minus 30,001, that's 18. Now, this is standard Modbus, and it's a prerequisite for this course. If you're having trouble understanding that, please think about going back to and doing Modbus, the Mastering Modbus RS-485 Network Communication course, or go into the modbus.org protocol document and check it out as well, right? So that's the start address. And the next 2 bytes will be the number of addresses to read, which in this case is just 1 because we're only reading 30,019. So this is our function code and 8-bit data bytes. All right, now let's start with looking at the unit ID, length, protocol identifier, and transaction identifier by starting from unit ID. The unit ID in this case is 22, right? Now, I mentioned earlier that the unit ID is not typically used. However, in some devices, it will be used. In some devices, it will be ignored. It'll, you just use the IP address, but the IP address is the real address in Modbus TCP IP that ensures that the packets reach from one device to the other device. Okay. All right. So that's the unit ID, which is 1 byte. The length now is 2 bytes, and the length will be the length of this, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bytes. So we have 06 as the length parameter. And then protocol identifier is always 0 and it's 2 bytes. So 0, 0, 2 bytes. And the transaction identifier is 1. Okay, I will give you a little more details about why it's initially 1, but this is the very first query, so to speak. So we're seeing that the Modbus TCP IP application data unit for the query is this. Yes, it looks kind of long. It is kind of long. And remember, though, that this is just the raw Modbus application data unit. When this frame on data stream is sent to the TCP IP software running in the device, the IP frame is added on, the TCP frame is added on, and the Ethernet frame is added on. Then they're passed out onto the network. But this is all we need to be concerned with because we'll be troubleshooting at this level. Okay, all right. So in the next lecture, we're going to look to see what the response data stream would look like to this query. Good.